Hello guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today we're taking a look at the new German Tier 8 TD, the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. This is the first German TD in the game that features a fully rotating turret. And that, my friends, is a game changer. The Borsig has 1100 hit points, which is fairly average for a Tier 8 TD. The Russians have less, and the British have more. The Borsig weighs just shy of 22 tons, but only has a 207 horsepower engine that enables it to reach a top speed of 35 kph, which isn't slow by anyone's standards, but I wouldn't exactly call it fast either. Due to the small engine, the Borsig can feel a little bit sluggish at times. Let's speak briefly about its armor. And briefly is correct indeed, since the Borsig doesn't have many. Its strongest armor is only 20 mm thick. That means that no matter if you angle your tank or not, every shot fired at you will penetrate your tank. So you rely on your health pool and your tank's camo rating to survive. The Borsig is a very small target, and that works in your favor. Let's take a look at the weapons. Its stock gun is a caliber of 12.8 cm, whereas the top gun is 15 cm. That makes the top gun look like the German equivalent of the Russian BL-10. But not so fast, guys. I'll be coming back to that in a little bit. Let's compare these two cannons in tank inspector. The 12.8 cm has the edge in terms of penetration. 246 mm is quite nice, whereas the 215 mm of the 15 cm isn't. You'll need to shoot a lot of prem shells in higher tier matches for the cannon to work. On the other hand, 750 alpha damage is, of course, very nice indeed. That precisely matches the BL-10 that the Russians get. Still, the DPM of the 12.8 cm cannon is so much higher, due to its much faster reload. In addition, the 12.8 cm is much more accurate, and it aims faster too. In my opinion, the 12.8 cm is the cannon of choice in the Borsig. The main disadvantage of the 15 cm is its poor penetration. And since it also lacks accuracy, it will be all the more difficult to hit enemy targets' weak spots, which especially with a low penetrating gun is so important. Before we move on, I want to point out one of the big weaknesses of either cannon. A gun depression of just 5 degrees is pretty poor, and it is a big shock, especially when you're coming from the PZSFL5 at Tier 7. So let's do the rest of the dry stuff by comparing the Borsig to the other Tier 8 TDs. First, alpha damage. We can see that the Borsig with a 150 mm cannon is right there with the BL-10 of the ISU 152. 750 alpha damage is massive, guys. Equipped with a 128 mm, the Borsig gets the same alpha as the other German Tier 8 TDs. Second, penetration. Here we can see the biggest drawback of the 150 mm. If it wasn't for the Tiger 88, the Borsig with a 150 mm would be dead last. On the other hand, the ISU 152 has the highest pen of all. So clearly the 150 mm of the Borsig isn't really the equivalent to the BL-10 at all. Equipped with a 128 mm, the Borsig scores a solid 240 mm. That's perfectly fine for a Tier 8 TD. But what about the also important damage per minute? I am afraid there is more bad news for the 150 mm cannon. Its rate of fire is lower than that of the ISU, and the result is what you'd expect. If you can only fire 3 shots per minute, each shell doing about 750 damage, then this is what you end up with. On the other hand, the DPM of the 128 mm is fantastic, and right up there with the very best of this tier. Speaking of fantastic, the Borsig has a camo rating, which is just insane. Besides the SU-101, nothing comes even close. And remember that you have a turret and will not need to move your hull, so your camo net will stay up all the time, making the Borsig truly a stealth fighter. Finally, the global win rate per newmeter.com. Here we can see that the Borsig owns this space comprehensively. It does not take a rocket scientist to see that nerfs to this tank seem inevitable. So my advice is to get it as soon as possible, before wargaming will, how do they put it, rebalance the tank. So now that we have gotten the numbers out of the way, without further ado, it is time for some games. We are on Fisherman's Bay, in a Tier 10 fight with more than half of the teams consisting of either Tier 9 or Tier 10 machines. I have chosen this fight to demonstrate how the Borsig can do in this kind of matchup. Note that I am not shooting any prem shells during the entire fight. XVM predicts a decisive victory for our team, so I am quite confident that things will turn out well. So that's the T-71 dispensed with, but at this point I am not too happy with the deployment of our team on the western flank. We are way too far back, and allowed the opponent to aggressively advance and put pressure on us. I have seen this happen many times before, and it rarely ends well for the team that plays too defensively on this flank. See what I mean? We allowed the enemy object to advance far too far ahead, and it looks like he is joined by an E-50. Things are going to get dicey here very soon. Now we have lost our F-Panther, and I am not advancing any further at this point. At the end of the day, I like to live as much as anyone. Our Object 268 misses his shot at the enemy's Object 140, and now I am deciding to advance. I am thinking that there might be an opportunity for me for some flanking shots. Just as I am getting ready to fire at that fully exposed object, suddenly a wild VK appears. That was a good hit, and now I am pulling back, hopefully to beat his reload. But now that object is pushing even more and I'll be in trouble very soon. I get him once, but he fires clutch and knocks out my engine. He circles me and puts another one into me. I have repaired the engine, and now I am getting my revenge on the object. You are in a bad position now, my friend. Nice damage roll of 552. And he is out. Now I am trying to go for the VK, but my teammate is getting in the way. I am not risking a shot. But it turns out I didn't need to. So, I got shot once, and my engine got knocked out. Don't think that this was a fluke. No, this happens all the time. I highly recommend getting the preventive maintenance perk for your driver. You are most definitely going to need it. Do I get a shot at the T-69? Yes, and not a bad one. But this won't be the last we have seen of this fellow. Looks like we are winning this game, but the enemy still has some tanks on this flank. There's the T-69 again. There must also be an Object 268 that we have spotted earlier. There he is. I fire clutch at the T-69, but miss. Spotted or not, I have a sight of a Tier 10, and I am going for it. Despite me pulling back right away, the T-69 manages to hit me. Now they are getting flanked by our Ace-3, and I am thinking the T-69's attention is elsewhere now, so I am going for the object again. Bad mistake. The T-69 so nearly killed me. I clearly underestimated him. He left me on 31 health, and I think he is coming for me now. Gotcha. This time it seems he underestimated me. Anyways, there is still that Object 268. I am trying to go for another shot, but I only have this foot. That was a bounce. I pull back, and so does our AMX. The object gets the AMX, but it already lands a big hit on him. Our WZ finishes him off. Let's skip forward a little bit. I am trying to get a shot at the Carnarvon. And it worked. Maybe I can hit him again. My shot goes low, and I only get his tracks. Can I get another shot in before he dies? The WZ kills him just before I am ready to fire. And that was that. So a good game then. For the victory we got more than 1,800 XP undoubled. The team score sees us on top for more than 1,200 base XP earned. We did second most damage, only bested by the tier 10 Waffenträger, who did an amazing 5.7k damage. You can see that the Borsig can hold its own very well in a match like this, where it is low tier. Next up is a match on Siegfried line. It's a tier 9 fight, which according to XVM should be pretty even. I have chosen this fight to demonstrate the incredible rate of fire of the Borsig. So let's go straight into the action. The Tiger 2 is the first to get hit. I'll shut my mouth for a while, just watch the DPM guys. Seriously, have you ever been in a match which you wish would go on forever? That was 10 shots fired, one of which missed, and the rest did 3,500 damage. We almost single-handedly shut down both the Tiger 2 as well as the Jet Tiger. And despite of all our shooting, we have yet to be spotted by the opponent. In a situation like this, the Borsig is completely OP, if I am honest. Does that require any skill? You be the judge. This shot goes a bit high, and bounces off the T-32's turret. Now I am spotted and the T-32 gets me. Skipping forward a bit. Looks like we get some flanking shots into a T-34. But I am taking the shot at the LEV instead. I am sure you have noticed that the damage rolls in this match so far have not been amazing. The RNG god hasn't been too kind, but I am not complaining. At least this hit was right on the money. I shall finish you off, my friend. What? How could I possibly miss this shot? Thinking that this may have been a ghost shell, I checked the replay again very carefully. Turns out that my shell exited the barrel right on top of the aiming circle, and simply missed the target. Oh well. But the T-32 won't be so lucky. The IS-8 is also dead, which leaves just the T-34 and the low V. The low V driver has had a great game so far, with 4 kills on his tally. And he isn't done just yet. The T-34 gets taken out by a VK. but the low V gets his 5th kill. And now he's even got the top gun. Well played. Time to put you down, dog. So with this game, we broke the 5,000 damage mark, which is nice. We also got 4 kills, and more than 1200 base XP as the reward. However, hats off to Mr. DJ Law in his low V. He played a fantastic game, and I feel a bit sorry for him that he did not win. But thanks to the courageous resistance bonus, he easily got most XP of all players. Great game, well done indeed. Alright, on to our last match. We are on highway in a tier 9 match, and it should be a pretty even game. I am joined by Eddie in his ISU 152. I am making my way up the southern flank towards the city, while Eddie has chosen a very aggressive route. Let's ride with him. In the meantime, I realize that we have no support from our heavies on my side, so I am getting the hell out of there and pull back. A decision that will prove to have saved my life. Eddie has a right in what I deem a very aggressive position. If he gets spotted there, he'll be in a lot of trouble. And sure enough, a Jaguar 88 has just been spotted in very close proximity to Eddie. I am trying to support him. But unfortunately I only seem to have damaged the JT's gun. Eddie is getting hammered hard now, but before he goes, he manages to get the JT good. But unfortunately, there was nothing we could do to save him. I get the JT in the end, but it was too little, too late. I am shifting my attention to the Centurion. That was a nice roll. I hope there is more from where that came from. In the span of 10 seconds, we have shaved off a need 1000 hit points from the Centurion. But I don't manage to get the kill. But no matter. There are plenty more targets, for example, that IS-8. My god, they are really all there. After I get the E75, I realize that I am out in the open. Time to get into cover. I am trying the E75 again. I am aiming for his lower plate. But no dice, but shot goes too high. At 480 meters, 0.35 accuracy isn't quite good enough to pull this off reliably. I am not sure if my blind shot of the super pushing hit him or not. That IS-3, I don't think I have the shot. But we have found a better target. That was an important hit at the best enemy player. I am retreating as I am reloading, and I get the Type 2 as well. And now watch what happens to the enemy team. That was a massacre. Our Type 59 has been left on 1 health, but not for long. Later analyses showed that he got more than 4,300 spotting damage. What a result. While our western flank is under attack, I am getting an opportunity at Borsig. Unfortunately, he just disappears before my shell hits him, so I don't know how much damage we did to him. But what I do know is that this isn't the last we have seen of him. Oh damn. The E75 was advanced, and now I am caught in the open. But instead of pulling back, I am making a mistake here. My shot misses, and I am getting punished hard. I am lucky to be still alive. At least I am getting him with my second shot. Our ISU seems to think he is invisible, but he clearly isn't. But fortunately for me, the E75 gets taken out by our M12. Nicely done. So, the game is still even, and we have a full health Foch and a full health T-34. Looks like the enemy's super pushing is getting brave. No. T-34. Don't take the bait. Damn. So much for our full health T-34. How can you have so little situational awareness? It was obvious that he was getting chewed up by the Jagdtiger 88 in the Borsig. And what's worse, he did not even spot the enemy. I figure he must be running a 50% crew on his premium tech. Whatever the case, I am getting out of here. Oh man, looks like our T-34 hasn't learned a thing. Why would you go back there? Oh boy. So in a span of 30 seconds, we had lost our full health T-34. Well played. So I am going to a location that gives me maximum cover, and our Jagged Panther 2 was right when he suggested to let them come up. Here they come. The super pushing has been spotted and I am trying to get a shot. Then I see the Borsig. Too late to save our artillery, but I should get him again. It wasn't quite enough to finish him off, but he's now an easy kill for our team. I am now focusing my attention on the super pushing. If I get a good damage roll, I can take him out in one shot. Oh damn. I leave him on 2 bloody health. The Foch had just taken out the Borsig, and that is good news. But now it's our Jagged Panther 2's turn to act recklessly. Why would you do that? There really was no need to get that aggressive. The Foch is going for the ram kill. Nicely done. I am now thinking that our Foch can handle the JT-88. Oh, the arty almost got him. That was close. I hope I am right about our Foch being up to the task, but he has more than 1,200 hit points left, so that should be okay. With the other Borsig unaccounted for, I decide to remain in my position. The Foch seems to be making his move. He gets the JT good, but he is now trapped. I have a very bad feeling about this. Oh no. Oh god, oh god. That arty hit him for 1,200 damage and killed him. In hindsight, I really should have supported the Foch. But I never considered for a second that he would not be able to handle the JT. And I certainly did not expect him to get completely trashed by the enemy's arty. Now I am in big trouble. It's 1 versus 3. I know that the JT is an easy kill for me, and last time I saw the Borsig, it was also a one-shot for me. It's the arty that worries me. There's the Borsig. I gotta take him out. I got spotted. Now all I can do is pray. I just can't believe this is happening. Well played to the M12 who won the game for the enemy fair and square. Having watched the game now a few times, I think I should have taken a more active role at the end of the game. I could have flanked the JT while he was engaging our Foch, and that would certainly have increased his chances of survival. But I was too passive, and I got what I deserved. Especially since I could have evaded the arty shell at the end, had I only changed course. We did more than 5,600 damage, which is pretty massive by anyone's standards. Also note that it was a Borsig who did the most damage on the enemy team. So I think the abilities of this great TD are not in question. As for my play skills, that's another story. I could have carried the game, but I failed when it mattered. This is especially sad, since there was a possible ace tankard badge in play here. So the Borsig, what do we think? It is bloody awesome. It is a fantastic machine. I do not believe that the Borsig will remain like this in the game for too long, before wargaming will rebalance it. So if you can get to it quickly, you may want to make it a priority. Get it while it's hot. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider rating it down below. I would really appreciate it. Take care and I'll see you next time.